Hey YouTube, this is Finesse. I am trying to do a different intro, so if you see this, I felt this was better than the first intro. I am doing the TMI tag. Laura, Littleluluscraps, tagged me a while ago. I'm so slow. She tagged me before in something, and it took me so long to do the videos that I didn't even post it. But I said this time I'm doing it, late or not. Um, And what am I going to say? Oh, this is a long video. I know most of my videos are like under 5 minutes or under a minute, really. But this is a long video. I answered the questions truthfully, and I have long stories to tell. So it's going to be a while. Sit back, relax, and, you know, do what you need to do. um, Anytime I was waiting on the car, I would just try to answer a few questions. So all the questions are, they're just it's just going to be out of order. So, I mean, you're going to hear numbers, but I stopped saying numbers after a while because I realized I'm not going to cut and edit like that. I mean, I'm going to do a little bit of editing, but I'm not going to be trying to line up the questions because you don't care what questions I answer first or last. So, um, they're all out of order. Don't listen to the numbers because they're going to be wrong. It's just whenever I had time in between, I was sitting in my car waiting for a client or something, but just answer questions. So, but she answered. Let's start all over. She answered the regular TMI questions, but she gave the option to do the crafty TMI question. So I put all of them together and just eliminated questions that I thought probably weren't probably will be redundant. Like, there were a lot of favorites questions. What is your favorite? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm a variety chick. I like lots of variety of things. So, those are the first questions to be eliminated, or, I don't know. Just stuff that I was like, nope, don't want to answer that one. I eliminated. So, let's see what I have left, because I just kept eliminating until I got to 50, so I'm not sure what all I have left. Except like the first couple, I do know this. So, let's see what it is. Okay, so number one, what do you wear while crafting? Whatever I have on. I mean, I have gotten dressed for a formal event and waiting on a ride or a roommate. And it's a wedding. I gotta create a card real quick because I can't find a card or forgot to get a card or whatever. Um, or who knows. So it could be from pajamas to formal wear. Number two, how large is your crafting space? It is huge. Not. But it feels huge now because when I started really getting into YouTube, 2-bedroom apartment with my roommate, so my crafting space and my bedroom were the one and the same, and that bedroom was probably about as big as the bedroom that my current craft room and guest room is. But it feels bigger since, I have 2 rooms to play in, technically. 3, tell the reason why you joined YouTube. Well, I had moved to Texas, and that was away from friends and family. And I just felt isolated from crafty buddies, crafty community in Texas. I don't know why. That's just what I felt. So I searched YouTube and found Scrap the World. She was having a swap, and I just assumed, hey, if I want to swap with people on YouTube, I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to see my stuff, or get a feel for me being regular, so it wouldn't be just like some random perverted stranger is trying to swap with us. So I joined YouTube so they wouldn't think I was a perverted stranger. Ha ha ha! Joke's on you. 4. At what age did you start? Dang, I'm only on 4. At what age did you start crafting? I've been crafting since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I cracked myself up. No, I mean, I've been crafting for a long time because I've always been a particular type of chick. And I wanted to be unique. So, yes, we were poor. We all shopped at the same shops. You know, me and everybody in that community. So, I wanted mine to be a little different. So, let's go to the craft store or let's figure out a way to make my stuff different. If that means I need to be crafty, then I guess I'm crafty. I didn't get into sewing that much, but I wanted a room where everything matched, and this is like 4th or 5th grade. I wanted everything to be matchy in my room, and I'm not even a matchy crafter or a person who matches when they dress. Like, I've never been a maybe in middle school because there's a lot of pressure to conform. I've never been like the orange go with the orange go. Nope, never been that kind of person except in middle school. And I was the 80s, so you had to have the blue, the white, and the yellow sock on this side with the yellow, the blue, the yeah. But I did it to stand out a little bit. I did it so my stuff wouldn't be the same. That's how I do it. That's how I roll. Ever been in love? Yes, and that is the reason I started scrapbooking. Because, I crafted. I'm waiting again, so I'm going to answer a few more questions. Number 37. How long does it normally take you to finish a project? It varies. Because I work on so many projects at a time. I could start a project, do another project, come back to it right before I need to send it off. So for swaps, it takes about as much time as the swap allows. Like, if it's a month-long swap, I'll start it early and I might even finish it to a certain extent, but then a couple weeks later I change my mind. I might redo it again. I might add a lot more. I might start all over. Yeah, so it just depends on how I'm feeling. I'm a moody crafter. Have you ever felt overwhelmed with crafting, meaning you have more ideas or things to do than you can get done? If so, what do you do to prevent that overwhelming feeling? I don't feel like I have enough time, but I wouldn't say overwhelmed. Crafting to me is fun. I mean, I'm not getting paid to do it. I'm not getting any benefit besides enjoying what I do. So if I feel overwhelmed, I don't feel overwhelmed. I wish I could do more because I would just like to do more. Like, I would like to give out handmade birthday cards for everybody's birthday, or, make books for different occasions and I end up buying a gift or something. But overwhelmed? No, because if I feel overwhelmed, I'll just stop and accept the consequences. There was a month, I think last year or a year before, I signed up for some swaps. I got a new job. I was in grad school, and it was just too much. So I just said, "Oh, crap! I just gotta drop it." Like, that's not even an option because it's something I do for fun in my spare time. So I don't usually feel overwhelmed. I do a lot of swaps anyway a month. I typically do 10 or more swaps. I think the most I've ever done in a month is like 30. So I don't think I get overwhelmed with swapping. It's fun. It's what I do in my spare time. So, 39. How much do you spend on shipping each month, approximately? Yeah, quite a lot. Shipping there and back. Just shipping there and back. 10 swaps a month. Let's just go with a low ball. 10 swaps a month. Shipping there and back, at least $3 each way. Yeah, that. Has a project ever made has a project you made ever frustrated you so bad that it made you cry? No way. No, I'm not crying over crafts. I'm not a big crier in general, but I'm definitely not crying over something that's supposed to be fun. Like, it might not come out the way I want to. I will just start from scratch, reevaluate, continue working, because sometimes it looks better once you keep going. But not so frustrated I wanted to cry. I mean, it's fun. It's not that serious, I guess. It's my viewpoint on it. 41. When was the last time you threw a half-finished project away because it didn't turn out as planned? The only time I would throw a project away is if it got messed up, not from me crafting. Like, I spilled soda on it, or it got drenched in the rain for some reason. That's the only way I would throw away a project. Or it's a project I started and didn't finish, and I'm moving. And I'm like, I'm never going to get to that, so that's just, I don't have room. I mean, like, you know, I'm very, once it's time to move, and because usually I'm waiting until last minute, you know, it's things get thrown away, but I'm like, you know, got to make some hard decisions. I think that's my client. Okay, one more, no. Okay, one more question. How long has it been since you made something for yourself to keep? My November gratitude using the altar playing cards. So, a couple months ago. I think I better stop. I think that's my client. Hey, answering a few more questions. 13. No, let's start with 12. Quality you look for in a partner. Patience and sane. I always say I'm going to be the crazy one in a relationship, so they need to be sane. And then they need patience to handle the craziness. 13, favorite quote. When you judge others, you don't define them, you define yourself. 15, loud music or soft? Loud. Where do you go when you're sad? I go to my bed. Growing up, we didn't always have our own bedrooms, but we always had our own bed. So I always feel like that's just a safe place to go to get better. 17, how long does it take you to shower? If it's a work day and I have to be somewhere, probably 8 minutes. I really don't know. But if it's the weekend or it's leisure, I can go until the hot water runs out. 18, last thing that made you cry. I'm not a big crier, although as I'm getting older, I'm crying a lot more about stuff. But student teaching, kids, when I was leaving, they had all written me a letter about, you know, how I helped them, and I'm a sucker for the kids. 19, last time you said you loved someone. I was just talking to my best friend, and I probably told him I love him. My best friends have always been guys. So, yeah, it was probably him. And that was last night. No, that was this morning. Meaning behind your YouTube name, number 20. Okay, so, I hope I have enough time for this. I gotta get ready to see a client. Fluorescent Pink Glass is the YouTube name, obviously. And I've always worn glasses, so it's because of the glasses. So every year we went, my mom would pick out like 3 or 4 glasses. She figured, you know, you can choose between these, but these go with outfits, and they just, you know, they're everyday glasses. One year she couldn't go. I think she was sick, and a neighbor took me, or some other adult, and I got to pick. I just got to pick any glasses I wanted in the whole store. I got to pick. It was the 80s. Fluorescent neon was popular. And I picked fluorescent pink glasses. That was like you know, it was like, you know, I'm growing up. I can choose, even though I wasn't really growing up. She just couldn't go. But I got to choose, and she thought it was the craziest decision in my life. And I just said, you know what? This was my decision, and I am going to live with it. I'm just going to say, you know, I'm going to make it work. Hey, world, I got fluorescent glasses, yes, and I'm wearing them every day. And when I was joining YouTube, like, I never expected to join YouTube. But I wanted a name that, for me, said, hey, world, I'm going to do it. Anyway, and that's why I picked fluorescent glasses. 21, last show you watched. Probably Scandal. No, it was The Office. I just finished. Okay, The Office. The relationship between you and the person you last text, my best friend. I just text him. Favorite food? Okay, I get it right. Favorite food though. Any carbohydrate. I guess if I had to pick one, it would be potatoes, and I mean that could be baked, fried. What else do you do? Scallop them, boiled, mashed, and I could just have a potato. I mean, it could just be a potato. But any carbohydrate, pasta, rice, bread. Oh, bread. You know how people go on a diet and they say, you know, replace your white bread with your wheat bread. To me, that's like saying replace an apple with a banana. They're both good fruits, or yeah, but they're different. Like, I can't replace it because it's a different thing. I want wheat bread or I want white bread. You know, it's not the same just because they are bread. Never, nothing about that. I had to go. Okay, back to answer some more questions. So I left off with, have you ever been in love? And I've been in love is how I started scrapbooking, which led to crafting, which led to YouTube. I was, what, early 20s when I met the love. And we were together 8 years. And he made some decisions that ended his life prematurely. He was shot by police. And I was devastated. I mean, I loved him. He was my first love. And at the funeral, well, I guess it was Christmas holiday, and I had like 2 weeks off, so I was driving up to see him, and he stayed where most of my family stayed, so I was driving up there to see him and family. And he died on my way up there. But so at the funeral, they had decided to do 3 big poster size collages of pictures. And I mean, you know, I was coming from a couple states away, so I couldn't go get my pictures. Because I was supposed to have one of the collages. So it ended up just being his sister and brother picking out things. I don't remember much about the funeral, but at the funeral, I think I stood by the casket, blocking everybody's view. I just felt like I needed that time. And I mean, I know that was selfish, and I'm pretty sure people didn't have nice things to say about me, but I kind of felt like I was being selfish. I kind of felt like, you know, because most of them were family. Like he was their son or their brother or their uncle or their cousin, and they don't have to replace that. Like, nobody expects them to move on and get a new brother. Nobody expects them to move on and get a new son. But people expect the significant other to move on and get another, because he was my boyfriend, but they considered me his fiance. So they expect me to move on and get a fiance, get married, and all that other stuff. So I felt like I needed every moment to get that closure. So I stood in the way. I mean, I think eventually they moved me, but the only 2 things I remember is saying, there's only 10 minutes, you need to move away now, because I don't think they knew how I was going to respond. They didn't know how I was going to react. Um, and so they tried to pull me away, and I was like, I have 10 minutes. Give me all 10 minutes. And then the second thing was, his aunt was like, his aunt, other people tried to do things too, but his aunt um, said, well, you know what, we can scrapbook his memories and have him as a keepsake. And I don't even think I answered her. I was very rude. Um, but afterwards, after I had gone home and, I was by myself, uh, I I just took those words and ran with it. I mean, I think probably within that next week, I bought every tool. I would just go into craft stores and look at the ideas on the, above the scrapbook paper that most of us don't even recognize, notice anymore. I would just look, scan. Oh, I want to do that. I would buy everything that I needed to do that. Sometimes I would even take my pictures to the store, buy the supplies, because I didn't want to have to come back and get things that I didn't know I needed. So I did that. I think within a month I had made like a book. I ended up making 2 books for myself, and a book for his mom, and a book for his sister, a book for his, I mean, I just was doing all kind of things. So that's how I started scrapbooking. And eventually, I mean, it helped a lot. It helped a lot. Eventually, it became, I liked that when you, in scrapbooking, you can use so many different crafts. Like, you can use sewing if you're not a sewer. You can use crocheting or yarn or um, metals. Or, I mean, you could just use a lot of different things in scrapbooking. So I started to create a liking for scrapbooking and crafting. And then some of my other friends started sharing, or I think they were just trying to help me out. They started scrapbooking with me, and we used to get together and do challenges. I didn't even know what those were, but we would say, okay, let's just bring this paper, and and then it just developed until I joined YouTube and started doing swaps and all that kind of thing. But I was a long answer to, have you ever been in love? Yes. How tall are you? I am 5'9". I'm probably 5'8" and something, but I just get used to saying 5'9" for guys. Because I want them to be taller than me. I still have that issue. Favorite show? I don't have a favorite. No, I have favorites, but they change like the wind. So right now it will be Scandal and The Little Couple. I like Jen and Bill. Bill and Jen. Um, and they're 2 little kids. Will is such a cutie pie. So those will be now, but next season, next month, it could change. Tattoos, yes. I have some cherries. How old are you? I am 38. Yeah. After 35, after 34, I think I just start picking numbers. So I have to actually think about how old I am. Zodiac sign, I am a Leo, and my birthday is July 24th. I'll be back. I'm in my car waiting again, so I'm going to answer a few more questions. Number 24, place you want to visit. I would like to visit Alaska, especially if it, like, the 24 hours a day, 24 hours a night. I would like to visit the ice sculpture, ice house, ice hotel, I think it is called. I would like to visit a place in Africa. I mean, a couple countries in Africa. I would like to visit Germany, Ireland. I want to visit a lot of places. I would like to visit Dominican Republic because that is where my nephew is right now. And oh, Australia for New Year's. I love fireworks, so I think they have a decent fireworks display, and it's for New Year's. So, and oh, and Hawaii at least once. I'm gonna stop there. I think there's a few more places, but I'll stop there. Last place you were, last place I was at a car lot. I'm looking for a new car, maybe. Last time you were insulted. Okay, so my disclaimer is I know this is not representative of people. I don't believe a lot of people are racist. Of course there are some racist people, but it's not like it's a majority, and I know there's some nice people, blah, blah, blah. Disclaimer. However, last time I was insulted. Okay, I'm in grad school. Oh, sorry. I'm in grad school. I'm tired. Tired. Because I'm, working my butt off to learn. Me and one of my classmates, we were going to do something, and we were going to a school to do something, I believe. And we had been like discussing it on the way there, and then we were just taking a little break. Like we were just at a red light, we were just quiet, and a car pulls up, and she's African, I'm African American. A car pulls up. This is in Texas, and the guy rolls down his window. He has to reach over and roll down his window. Now we're in a decent car. It was my classmate's car. It was a decent car. I think it was a truck. So he's rolling down his window. He wasn't in as nice of a car. When the light turned, he screamed over nigger, and then I think he says something like niggers get out of here, and then sped off. First of all, the African was like, we were in shock. What just happened? Second, nigger means ignorant or uneducated, or I'm working my butt off to be educated. Don't call me that. That was just insulting. It was less racist and more insulting for me. For both of us. Because, we're working hard here. And just because of our skin color, that's what you call us. Ugh, that was insulting. And that was like 2 years ago. So it's not like I'm insulted all the time, or I knowingly face racial discrimination. So, I'm not saying that. I'm just, that was the last time I was insulted. Last song you sang was Monster by Rihanna and Eminem. Okay. Some more questions. Last time you hung out with anyone, I went to go visit family about a week ago. And I hung out with my aunts, two of my aunts and my cousin, and I hadn't been home in a while, so we just hung around, just caught up, and we're just a joker, sarcastic type family, but we are very supportive and very upbuilding toward each other. Like, I know some people are just sarcastic, and then if they feel beaten down after they are with their family, and I always feel better, always feel lighter, always feel like recharged. So I like hanging out with them. How often do you shop for supplies? Just whenever. It could be every day, and then I could go a couple weeks without shopping. What is your favorite paper company that you use or have used before? It's another favorite question. I guess I would go with, I'm not familiar with a lot of them, to be honest, but Graphic 45, I like the intensity of their colors, and that goes with the view. What are your favorite glues? I am always looking for a favorite glue. Glue adhesive, finding a favorite or the perfect is still elusive. It's like the unicorn. I haven't found it. I haven't seen it in real life. Um, Out of all the tools that you own, what is your favorite? I think I'm gonna skip that. I don't have a favorite tool. Oh, maybe my corner punch. I'll say my corner punch. What is your favorite color? I don't have a favorite color. I like autumn colors. Um, like if I had to pick, I'm gonna pick something that's in an autumn color. But I don't have a favorite. Do you listen to music while crafting? Sometimes, but usually I'm watching Netflix, a movie, or The Office, or Scandal, or Breaking Bad. I mean, just a show on Netflix. Or I'm watching YouTube videos. Like, if I've been off of YouTube for a while, like I've missed a couple of days because it's been crazy, and I see somebody has uploaded like 5 or 6 videos, then I'll put it on play because I just don't want to have to keep looking for a video, every 5-6 minutes. I want it to play for at least an hour before I have to do anything, so I can craft because I'm gonna be gluey or painty or whatever, and I don't want to have to keep stopping. Where do you go when you need inspiration, or what do you do? I guess I go to YouTube or Pinterest for inspiration. Or I go through some of the crafts that I receive, some of the swaps I receive. I might just look through things and be inspired to use something that I already have. How long does it take you to pull things together to start a project? Probably a couple days. It could take, if it's something that I've, like, when you are doing a project or a swap and you're like, oh, I could use such and such. And then, if I know what I'm going to use, especially if it's like a kit or something, boom, doesn't take long. But if I'm on a spending freeze, or I'm just trying to use what I have and it's not really something that's like, outright, okay, use this. I have to think outside of the box and be creative. Then it takes me a little longer. Do you have siblings or relatives that craft? Yeah, they didn't used to craft, but they now help me out, so they craft. Or I'm just doing something that seems interesting, so they want to try it too. So they end up crafting. Just like my sister came to visit 2 weeks ago. She came down to visit, and she was only there for a day. And when she ended up making a junk journal, she's like, "How am I doing this? How is our visit turned into a craft retreat?" And then my cousin who lives with me, she has gotten into liking to make flowers. So if I'm in a flower swap, most of the time she does it. 90% of the time she's done the flowers for the flower swap. What's your favorite food to snack on while crafting? I am not this juicy because I have a favorite food. I keep my juicy because I like a lot of different things, and I still like variety. So I mean, it's just whatever I'm in the mood to eat. It's not like I'm crafting, I need to have this. No, it's just whatever I want to snack on that day, and it could be good stuff. It could be carrots or broccoli, or it could be chips, or it could be candy. I think my initial, or my most requested, the snack I would want the most is salty. I'm not really a sweet person because I get a headache if I have too many sweets. So, nuts, chips, pretzels, saltier snacks or what I would go to first. Which best describes you? Full-time crafter, you sell your craft items. Part-time crafter, works outside the home. Part-time crafter, homemaker. I am a part-time crafter, works outside the home, but I would love to be able to sell something. I mean, it doesn't even have to be my crafts. It could be just supplies to pay for shipping. So I've been thinking about that. Like, what could I sell to cover the cost of shipping, so I can still craft and just not feel like it's such a hit to my budget. Have you ever watched YouTube videos while crafting but didn't leave a comment? Did you feel guilty for not leaving one? Yeah, if I'm catching up on somebody's videos, sometimes, you know, my fingers are gluey or, you know, full of paint, and I don't want to stop and, you know, wipe it off and leave a comment. No, I do not feel guilty. I think I leave comments pretty often, and I just don't feel guilty about that. Do you subscribe to other YouTube channels that are non-crafty? If so, which ones? Well, YouTube, like, my first YouTube searches was mainly for natural hair products. So I am subscribed to a lot of natural hair people. Naturally curly African American hair. Just making homemade, because I've always been into homemade beauty products, period. So when I decided not to use chemicals on my hair, I wanted to decide not to use chemicals on my hair to be healthier. So I wanted to have healthier products to use to manipulate my hair as well. So I'm gonna subscribe to that. Then I don't know. I've been dating interracially, so I started subscribing to some of those channels. Math teaching channels, because I do a lot of math tutoring. And just some things that strikes my fancy. You know, if somebody just seems really informative or funny, I'll subscribe to them, even though they're not crafty. And that is it. I'm finally done. I think this video is going to be like 30 minutes when I put it all together. So, if you stay with me this long, thanks for watching.